where'd you find things as the biggest struggle in the first 3 quarters, and what turned and clicked in that final drive?
Yeah, I mean, we moved the ball well, and then we just stalled in the red zone. It was just something that I felt we got behind the chains. We had some penalty issues. I want to watch the tape and see assignment-wise how we were, but we just we were moving it well, and then we got down there, we just kind of stalled out. So it came together at the end. All that matters, we got the W, but there's definitely things that we need to improve on.
Kenny, how would you describe the emotion of the night?
Yeah, you try to keep your emotion together. Right? I mean, you got to stay even keel throughout it, but the kind of magnitude of the game with all the outside reasons. Franco and we wanted to go out there and get the win for him. So everyone kind of kept it together. And after the game, obviously, an incredibly special moment in the locker room. And safe to say I'm going to keep this jersey. And probably give my parents, have it hanging up. It was a really special night.
Well, what did you see? Obviously, George got open, for that touchdown. But just what did you see? Can you kind of break that play down for us?
Yeah, he has a middle read route, so George did an incredible job of reading that. The backside safety was hanging over the pad side. I just wanted to hold him long enough in my eyes to make the throw to George down the seam. It worked out really well. I had that look in practice a few times, so it's great when you work on something, you work real hard at it, and it shows up in the game in the biggest moments, and you win a game like this.
Can you ever go up to the defense and say, hey, just be patient, we'll get things together here, or is that not in the rookie quarterbacks?
I don't think it's in any quarterback. I've never seen any other quarterback do that, man. We're focused on, obviously we're doing everything we can. I'm not going to go reassure the defense that they know what we're doing. They know we're working hard and trying, everything we can to put points on the board. It was a dirty, sloppy game like that, and that's how it was. We had opportunities that we didn't take advantage of, and we need to do that as an offense. I'm pretty sure the boys on the defensive side know that we're doing everything we can to put it in the end zone.
These things seem to come from all different directions, but at the final drive, you guys brought it together as a team. What does that say about you guys to come together in such a big moment?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying all that matters is we got the W. Obviously, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't what we wanted. I mean, the conditions were what they were, and I feel like everyone was locked in on what we had to do. We didn't let that affect us, and we came together and executed a high level for that final 2-minute drive and got in the end zone. Won the game, so that's all that matters.
Because of the conditions, how hard was that to kind of block that out? With how cold it was out there.
It wasn't too bad. I think our support staff, shout out to them, doing a great job. The jackets were on deck. They had the boys having with some hand warmers, so they were hooking it up on the sideline. So I appreciate the equipment staff and the trainers that we have. They got us ready to go.
It seemed like you were looking the Mosian pathway a lot. What sort of comfortability do they add?
Everyone goes into like you're looking for somebody. Like it's. I don't look for anybody. I just the defense tells me what to do, and I throw to that guy. So Pat was in that position. Tay was in that position earlier. Then they started doubling Tay, so the ball started getting moved around. That's just kind of how the flow of the game goes and how it is. I let the defense tell me what to do, and we had Pat in those zones. They played a lot more too high zone than we expected, and that's where Pat's going to stand up for us.
Kenny, I have to ask you it sounded like on the TV broadcast in the 4th down. I think there was like a Franco cadence. Where did that come from?
There was, yeah. So it was a dummy count until I said Franco, then I was going to be live. So it was a huge play in the game. We had that in. It was special to convert. And, we had it twice, and we didn't do it a second time because obviously it hurt the first time, so I didn't want to do it twice. But it was cool to have that in for him this week.
Kenny, it seemed like they rotated all their safeties a lot to try to trick you into different things, but you seem to be composed and stick to your reads. What goes into the study to figure out what they're trying to disguise?
Yeah, everyone's going to do a lot of different things pre-snap, but post-snap, all that stops. They have to get to the landmarks. They have to get to wherever they're going to be, and those 2 guys kind of tell me where the other 9 are going to be. So I just kind of have a pretty good feel with the tape study, with how they like to disguise, what they like to do. I wasn't perfect. They definitely got me a few times, but I just try to be as disciplined as I can post-snap.
Okay, looking back, is it fitting on Immaculate Reception weekend that you guys win with the last minute touchdown?
Yeah, I feel like you can't make it up, really, man. How the game went, the kind of conditions it was, how we won, it is incredibly special. So, I don't think you could write it any better.
Kenny, could you speak to the physicality of Najee, especially on that last drive, that 19-yard play where he kind of went through 3 or 4 Raiders?
Yeah, week in and week out, you can count on 22 showing up and bringing that physicality. And him, Jalen, all of our backs. I had a lot of comfort in checking the ball down to them and letting them go do the work like that after the catch. So if I feel like I can get them in space, it's just as good as if I could throw it down the field. So You know, my job is to distribute to those guys, get them in space, and they do the rest.
Pickens, excuse me, told us you were just basically calling the plays in the huddle in the last drive. There wasn't any, I think he said it wasn't like a movie, there wasn't anything dramatic. Is that your style in those situations, just kind of be calm and work the craft as opposed to trying to come up with something that's
Yeah, I mean, there's no rah-rah speech that's going to put the ball in the end zone, man. You know, it's very simple. Everyone's got to lock in, do their job. I'm going to call the plays. We're going to get it relayed in. You know, I told them that, you know, they're going to execute. You know, I'll execute, and we're going to win the game. That's pretty much it. So, you know, when you're in the locker room after, and you guys are hugging after a win, that's the best feeling in the world. So, I have no doubt that we're going to get it done.
This is route tree getting a little bit more diversified. You used to be over the middle a couple times. A touchdown. I think there was another third down conversion, wasn't there? We found.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, George is growing as a receiver every week, and it's something we talked about earlier in the season. Just how he wants to be able to do all these different things, and he's going to continue to work on his craft. We're going to move him around, and you know, I'll find him with the football.
That straightforward approach in the huddle, and that's two game-winning drive now for you. I mean, do you feel yourself kind of winning guys over at all in those moments? Is that part of this process for you as a competitor with the new team?
I don't really think too much about, you know, winning guys over. I think my preparation throughout the week, how hard I play, you know, I hope their opinions, you know, are on the brighter side just based off of that, I'd say. I'm not, you know, we all have a really good relationship with each other. We all believe in each other, and, you know, we have no doubt that we're going to win the game when we get out there. So I think how tight-knit we are, I think, you know, that definitely bodes well for us.
Kenny.
It might be a little bit cliche, but knowing all the ups and downs that you guys have gone through this season, what does it mean to you guys right now to be playing meaningful football this late in the year?
Yeah, it's a long season. You know, it's a long season. We were kind of finding ourselves earlier on in the season. You know, felt like we started hitting our stride after the bye week. You know, finding our identity a little bit. You know, believing in each other, believing in the plan, and going out there and executing at a high level. You know, and finding ways to come out with wins. That's all that matters. You know, at the end of the day. So I feel like we continue to do that. You know, whatever happens, but we just got to take it a week at a time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.